Welcome back everyone to 제니퍼의Actual speaking. My name is of course Jennifer Clyde. It is time for lesson 19 and today we will be talking about jokes. Pulling a joke on someone or playing a joke on someone. We often also say play a prank on someone. It basically means to fool around and joke around, sometimes tricking people into believing something that's not true. Now, when does this usually happen? I think it mostly happens on April Fool's Day. It was back, I guess, a few weeks ago. I wonder if you pulled any jokes on people. Now, April Fool's Day is, of course, the 1st of April, as we all know. In Korean, it is called 만우절. So, did you play any tricks on people? You know, I think it's good to maybe have a good laugh sometimes, be fooled or fool people, as long as you keep it safe and do not get carried away. So today we'll talk about jokes and find out some expressions you can use when talking about this topic. Are you ready? Let's get started. Now, welcome back everyone to our very first segment. Today we are of course talking about jokes. Playing a joke on someone or, that's right, playing or pulling a prank on someone. Simply put, it means to trick someone or to fool someone. So let's begin by brainstorming some cues together. Of course, with the 5 W's and how. You all know what the 5 W's are. Who, what, when, where, why, and then think of the how as well. By doing this, it will help you much more smoothly talk about any topic, okay? So, first of all, let's begin with who. The first W, who did you pull a prank on? Who did you play a joke on? Who did you trick or who did you fool? These are all ways of talking about tricking someone. So take a look at this. Pull a prank on, okay, or play a joke on. So keep these expressions in mind and let's further our brainstorming cues. Now, who played a joke on you? Who tricked you into believing something? Okay, who fooled you? Who played a joke on you? Let's move on to what. What was the prank? Now, a prank, in other words, to give you the definition of the word prank is, of course, a simple joke. Usually, a prank is pulled on someone just for fun, okay? So it's for fun as we pull a joke on someone. So what was the prank? What was the joke? Moving on to what kinds of, okay, tricks do you or did you play on people? So think about this past April Fool's Day, the 1st of April, as I did mention, on 만우절. So what kind of tricks did you play on people, or what kind of tricks or jokes do you normally play on people? Okay, think about that as well. Let's move on to what were their reactions. Now, when you played a joke on someone, when you tricked someone, how did they react? So, what were their reactions? Think about that as well. Let's move on to our next W, which is who, what, when, okay? Now, when did you last play a joke on someone? Perhaps this past April Fool's Day, you might have tricked someone or fooled someone. So think about that because this is something you can also talk about. Moving on to where. Now, where was this? Where did it happen? Was it at school, if you are a student? Was it at the workplace? If you, of course, work and are an adult, it can be at home, because I often play a joke on my mom, even on my dog sometimes. So I would say it happened at home. You could say it happened at school or at work and so forth. Moving on to why. Now, why did you decide to trick him or her? Why did you choose that person? Is that person gullible, naive? Are they fooled easily? So you can talk about the reason why you picked that person. You chose that person, okay? Moving on to our last how category. How seriously did they take the joke? The take here basically means to accept, okay? How seriously did they take the joke? Meaning, did they fall for it? Did they believe every single word you said? Or did they say, I know you're joking, don't joke with me. So how seriously did they take the joke? Okay, let's move on to the next how. How do you react when someone plays a joke on you? So we're talking about your reaction, how you usually react when someone tries to fool you into believing something false. Moving on to our very final how, it is, how many times have you pulled a prank on someone once again? So how many times? If you are a prankster, if you enjoy playing jokes on people, you could say, I guess, well, I pulled at least 10 jokes or 20 jokes. If not, you can say, I hardly ever pull a prank on someone or play a joke on someone as well. Okay, so we're done brainstorming with the cues here. Keep in mind the 5 W's and how, because once again, I stress, they will help you speak more freely and more smoothly and fluently and naturally when you talk about any topic that's out there. Okay, then let's move on to actual talk.
Are you a prankster?
No, I'm not.
Really? Then are you gullible?
Yes, I am gullible.
You're in big trouble now.
No, don't pull any jokes on me.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Actually, that reminds me, I pulled a joke on my mom before.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was hiding in the bedroom under the covers, and she walked in, and I jumped out, and I scared her. But she fainted.
Oh, no.
And she scared me. So I ran downstairs to my mom or to my dad and my sister. And I was like, I just scared Mom and she fainted. And we all ran upstairs to the bedroom.
Yeah.
And she was gone. My
What happened?
mom was hiding behind the door and she scared us.
Oh.
So you could say
She got you.
she got me. The joke turned around and it was on me, right?
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
joke was on
goodness.
you.
Yeah. What about you? Have you ever pulled any pranks on anybody?
I think we did some when I was young in summer camp.
Okay.
And then, actually, when I was teaching at the university on April Fool's Day,
Right.
I gave my students a pop quiz. I prepared this really long pop quiz
Uh-huh.
with all completely impossible questions, like, write a dissertation on the socioeconomic factors, in the formation of something.
Oh my goodness.
And what is the gesticulation period of an African elephant?
What?
Things like that. And I was very serious in the
Yes.
presentation, so
they fell for it?
they totally fell for it.
Oh my goodness.
And I waited like 5 or 10 minutes while they tried to figure out what everything meant,
Yeah.
and then I let them off the hook.
You're a prankster, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we should try to get Jennifer.
That's a good idea.
She's an easy target.
She is an easy target, but we have to do it before she sees this.
Yeah, we better hurry.
Yes. Well, let's brainstorm.
Okay.
So how was the conversation between Peter and Rachel? Did you enjoy listening to it? I sure hope you did. Well, to give you a brief, I guess a rough outline or the storyline of what they were talking about, what did Peter say? He talked about an experience, his own experience of tricking his students at university. It actually happened on April Fool's Day, I believe. He tricked his students in class. And what about Rachel? She played a joke on her mother. Well, actually, she scared her mother, but her mother played a joke on her, and she totally got tricked. Let's take a look at the actual talk conversation line by line. All right, let's begin. Peter says, are you a prankster? Now, we did take a look at prank here, P-R-A-N-K. A prank is, that's right, it is a joke. Usually a joke that's played on someone for fun. Nothing serious, it's a light joke. But if you say prankster and add the S-T-E-R here, you are talking about a person who plays a joke on other people. So a prankster is a person who fools people, who tricks people, or who finds fun in it, who enjoys playing tricks on people. So this is a question that Peter is asking Rachel, and what did she say? She said, no, I'm not a prankster, meaning I don't really enjoy playing jokes on people. Let's move on. Now, he says, then are you gullible? You all know gullible, right? Gulliver, but we're talking about a totally different word here. Gullible, gullible. If you are gullible, it means that you are quite naive. You fall for something. You are easily tricked. So he says, then are you gullible? Meaning, if someone plays a joke on you, do you fall for it? Do you tend to believe it? Do you get fooled easily? She says, yes, I am gullible, okay? Now he says, you're in trouble now. He's just joking. You're in trouble now, meaning that perhaps he is going to play a joke on her. Moving on, she says, no, don't pull any jokes on me. Remember, pull a joke on someone or play a joke on someone. Always remember that you play a joke on somebody. She says, no, don't trick me. Don't try to fool me. Don't pull any jokes on me. She says, actually, that reminds me. And then she says, I pulled a joke on her mom, okay? Before, she's talking about a past experience, and she says, I was hiding in the bedroom. She was hiding. Where? Under the covers. What does this mean? Under the covers. Here, covers means blanket. So she was hiding under the covers, perhaps on the bed, under the blanket. And she says, and she walked in. She meaning, we're talking about Rachel's mother. She walked in and I jumped out. Jumped out from under the covers and I scared her, okay? So she was hiding under the covers until her mom walked in and she jumped out and said, boo, and she scared her mom. So she says, but she fainted. Okay, she lost consciousness. 기절을 하셨어요. She fainted and she scared me. So I ran downstairs to my dad and my sister. So obviously we know she was trying to trick her mother, scare her, but then again she got scared because her mother fainted. Now what happened? And she says, and I was like, I just scared mom and she fainted. So this is what she said to her, of course, dad and sister. So we all ran upstairs. Remember, she ran downstairs to her mom and sister, but they all ran upstairs to the bedroom, but she was gone. Now, she was gone, meaning her mother was gone. Her mother fainted, but suddenly, when they returned back to the room, she was nowhere to be found. And then, of course, Peter asks, so what happened? Now, Rachel says, my mom was hiding behind the door, okay? And she says, she scared us. So, in other words, her mother was hiding. This time, she went boo and scared everyone else. So you could say, and then he finishes what she was going to say by saying, she gotcha. She got you. Now, what does this mean? To get something? It means to make something yours or to purchase, to buy something. But in this case, she got you means she tricked you. Okay, she fooled you. So say, for example, I play a joke on someone, a joke, and that person believes me. Then I can say, aha, I gotcha, meaning I tricked you. So in this case, Peter was saying, so your mother got you. Moving on, yeah, she got me. The joke turned around and it was on me, okay? The joke turned around. How can a joke turn around? Basically, when she says the joke turned around, it means when I played a joke on someone, that joke was played on me in reverse. So the joke turned around and it meaning the joke was on me, okay? Oh my goodness. And then she asks, what about you? She's asking Peter, have you ever pulled any pranks on anybody? He says, when I was young, in summer camp. Usually that happens when you're in school and you go to summer camp. You can play lots of jokes on people, have lots of fun. But he says, actually, when I was teaching at the university, on April Fool's Day, that is April 1st, he says, I gave my students a pop quiz. Okay? We all know what a quiz is. A quiz is a rather small test. It's not a big test, it is a very small test. But a pop quiz is what? Something pops. It goes boop all of a sudden. So if you call something a pop quiz, usually it's a quiz that was not told in advance. So a teacher may have students in class and say, okay, we're going to have a surprise quiz, which basically means a pop quiz. And he says, I prepared this really long pop quiz with all completely impossible questions. So this was a joke that he was playing. Impossible questions, meaning questions very hard to answer. And he says, write a dissertation on the socioeconomic factors. Wow, that sounds very difficult. A dissertation is like a thesis. Usually it's part of, I guess, a course that you're taking. When you're in grad school, for example, you may, in a master's course, you may have to write a dissertation. It's like a 논문 or 논문 in Korean. So he says, what is the gesticulation, or rather, I think he was trying to say gestation period of an African elephant and things like that. He's talking about what kinds of questions he asked or he included in the pop quiz. For your information, gesticulation is basically related to gestures, okay, movements of the body. But as he said, of an African elephant, I think he was talking about gestation. Now, gestation, simply put in Korean, is 임신. Okay, it's when you have an embryo or a fetus in an animal. It's about to give birth. So he's asking a very difficult question. That was his joke, okay? And I was very serious in the presentation. So she asks, they fell for it? Did you get them with the joke? They fell for it? Fall for something. We often say fall in love, right? You're completely in love. But in this case, the it is the joke, the trick, the prank. So if somebody falls for something, it means they are tricked. He says they totally fell for it, meaning 100%. They all believed me, and I was only playing a joke. I waited like 5 or 10 minutes while they tried to figure out what everything meant, and then I let them off the hook. Let someone off the hook basically means to let them free, let them go. So in this case, he's saying they all believed what he was doing was to be true. It was not a trick. They all believed him completely, totally. And then he finally said, you know, kids, I'm just joking. And he said, I'll let you off the hook. So they were let off the hook. Now, Rachel says, you're a prankster, aren't you? You like to play jokes on people. And he says, I think we should try to get Jennifer. In this case, the get means what? Not to purchase, not to make their own, but it means to trick Jennifer. So, moving on. Oh, that's a good idea. She's an easy target. We'll take a look at this. Easy target. And of course, yeah, Rachel says, yes, she is an easy target. An easy target is a person or even a thing sometimes that's easy to fool, okay? That's naive perhaps. So they are saying that I am an easy target, meaning I am the type of person that gets fooled easily. Now, but we have to do it before she sees this. Well, I saw it too fast, everyone. Yeah, too late for you guys. We'd better hurry. Yeah. Well, let's brainstorm. So they were getting ready to pull a prank on me or play a joke on me, but sorry, Peter and Rachel, I know what you guys were up to. Okay, that is all for today's actual talk. Let's take a listen to it one more time with the subtitles.
Are you a prankster?
No, I'm not.
Really? Then are you gullible?
Yes, I am gullible.
You're in big trouble now.
No, don't pull any jokes on me.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Actually, that reminds me, I pulled a joke on my mom before.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was hiding in the bedroom under the covers, and she walked in, and I jumped out, and I scared her. But she fainted.
Oh, no.
And she scared me. So I ran downstairs to my mom or to my dad and my sister. And I was like, I just scared Mom and she fainted. And we all ran upstairs to the bedroom.
Yeah.
And she was gone. My
What happened?
mom was hiding behind the door and she scared us.
Oh.
So you could say
She got you.
she got me. The joke turned around and it was on me, right?
Yeah,
oh
the
my
joke was on
goodness.
you.
Yeah. What about you? Have you ever pulled any pranks on anybody?
I think we did some when I was young in summer camp.
Okay.
And then, actually, when I was teaching at the university on April Fool's Day,
Right.
I gave my students a pop quiz. I prepared this really long pop quiz
Uh-huh.
with all completely impossible questions, like, write a dissertation on the socioeconomic factors, in the formation of something.
Oh my goodness.
And what is the gesticulation period of an African elephant?
What?
Things like that. And I was very serious in the
Yes.
presentation, so
they fell for it?
They totally fell for it.
Oh my goodness.
And I waited like 5 or 10 minutes while they tried to figure out what everything meant,
Yeah.
and then I let them off the hook.
You're a prankster, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we should try to get Jennifer.
That's a good idea.
She's an easy target.
She is an easy target, but we have to do it before she sees this.
Yeah, we better hurry.
Yes. Well, let's brainstorm.
Okay.
Now let's take a look at some actual talk expressions and find out the many ways in which you can talk about pulling a prank on someone or just joking around. Yeah, playing a joke on somebody. First of all, April Fool's Day pranks. I categorize this because there are really popular or common jokes people play on people on the 1st of April, on April Fool's Day, and these are some examples. I think this is a very Korean example. I heard from a lot of my Korean friends that they used to, or back in school, they used to switch classes to trick their teachers. Did you do this when you were in school? Because I heard usually students stay in the class and the teachers come to teach the students in Korean schools. So what the students would do is switch classes with the class next to them. And then the teacher walks in and says, oh, maybe I walked into the wrong classroom. So you can say back in school, meaning when I was in school, middle school or high school, we used to, okay? We often did this, switch classes, change classes to trick our teachers, okay? Here's another common April Fool's Day prank. I used to make prank calls when I was a lot younger. Now, 장난 전화, right, is a prank call. 장난 전화를 하다, 걸다, it means to make a prank call. So when I was a lot younger, right, when I was a lot younger, I used to make prank calls. I think students do this a lot, call Chinese restaurants and say, oh, this is so-and-so, could you send us 2 soups or 2 noodles? And then, of course, it's just a joke, so you can say make prank calls. Here's another common one, instead of sugar, in place of, instead of sugar, I put salt in my mom's coffee. Yeah, that happens too. Ooh, very, I would not want to imagine what that coffee tastes like. But this is a joke. Instead of sugar, I put salt in my mom's coffee. I changed my mom's cell phone settings from Korean to English, okay? Now keep in mind, from A, okay, to, and then we're talking about B, okay? Change something, change A, okay? Change something from A to B. So she changed her mom's cell phone settings from Korean to English. All of a sudden, everything was in English. That's a joke often played as well. Now, I filled the soap dispensers around the office with pancake syrup, okay? We all know pancake syrup. What is a soap dispenser? Oftentimes when we go to the bathroom, we don't have a bar of soap, but usually you press something to get liquid soap. That is a soap dispenser, okay? So I filled the soap dispensers around the office with pancake syrup or maple syrup. Moving on, my friend dipped the ends of my pens in clear nail polish. Now dip, 담그다, right? So my friend dipped the ends of my pens in clear nail polish. Moving on, I changed my outgoing voicemail messages to hello, hello, just joking, leave a message. So this is a joke often played as well. I changed my outgoing voicemail message to hello, hello, just joking, leave a message. All right, now let's talk about playing jokes on someone, tricking someone. You can say every year, I go all out for April Fool's Day. Go all out, it does not mean to go outside. It means to often take a risk, work very, very hard, or do something 100%. So I go all out for April Fool's Day means you play a lot of jokes, as many jokes as possible on April Fool's Day. Okay? I pull jokes on. Now, keep in mind this pattern is very important when talking about playing a joke on someone. Pull a joke on or pull jokes on who? Family, friends, or even colleagues. I pulled jokes on my family, my friends, my colleagues. Another one, we pulled a prank or played a joke on Mr. Lee. Another one, we pulled Kim's leg and she had no clue. We all know what have no clue means. It means to be clueless, totally confused. But take a look at this. Pull somebody's leg. What does that mean? 다리를 당기다? Actually, pull someone's leg means to play a joke on someone, to trick someone, to fool someone. So we pulled Kim's leg and she had no clue. In other words, we played a joke on Kim, but she was clueless. She did not have any idea of what was going on. Here we go, being tricked or fooled. Now, you're talking about yourself. When you were tricked, you can say, she is such an easy target. As I mentioned, an easy target is a person that will be fooled very easily. Lisa falls for the same trick every year. Fall for something. That's right, I did mention this. Fall for something meaning you believe it, okay? You believe it 100%. So, in other words, you are saying Lisa is tricked with the same joke or trick every year. Everybody was taken in by the joke. To be taken in also means to be, that's right, to fall for a joke. So you're fooled, okay? Everybody was fooled by the joke. Everybody was taken in by the joke. I was completely caught off guard. I'm sure you've seen this before. Caught off guard, okay? Off guard, meaning what? There are no guards. There's no warning, but you're caught. This means get caught off guard. Something happens and you're surprised. You're shocked, especially when the situation is unexpected, when there is no warning. So I was completely caught off guard by the joke or the prank, meaning I didn't see it coming. I was totally fooled. I was not expecting that joke. Moving on, I was duped or tricked into believing every word she said. Now, dupe here, if you just say D-U-P-E. Now, this could mean a person that is easily tricked as well. For example, gullible or an easy target. But if you say I was duped, it means I was tricked. So I was duped or I was tricked into believing every single word she said. I believed what she was saying. Reactions. Let's talk about how people react, okay? My brother was so angry, he flipped. Flipped? I think it's very similar in Korean. Even in Korean, there is that expression, 뒤집어지다, 뒤집어졌다, right? What does it mean? If you're angry and you flip, it means to go crazy, especially because you are so angry. You're yelling and you're saying, how could you pull a joke on me, okay? So my brother was so angry, he flipped. Let's take a look at some more. I knew it was a prank. I was aware it was a joke, but I just played along, okay? So to play along means you're cooperating. You're acting as if you have no idea it is a joke, okay? So in your mind, you know it's a joke, but you act as if you don't know. You play along with something. Okay, moving on. It was all fun and games until someone got hurt. Now, it was all fun and games. It was all fun and games. This expression is used quite often. It means it was enjoyable. It was fun. It was entertaining until someone got hurt. Remember, I did mention in the beginning of our lesson today, as long as we don't get carried away, it's fine. Some jokes are way too serious. Let's take a look at some synonyms of shock or surprise quickly. When you want to say, I was surprised, I was shocked, try using all different words. I was stunned, I was staggered, I was confounded, I was dumbfounded. Now, what about flabbergasted? Also, these are all words expressing shock or surprise. Astound, astounded, bewildered. Usually, here we have be. Words that start with be usually mean to be confused. So if you were confused about a situation, you can say, I was bewildered, okay? Flummox also is another word for confusion. You're shocked, you're surprised, but most of all, confused. Dazed, astonished. Bemused also starts with a be, and that means to be confused. Have no idea what's happening. Okay, I guess that about does it for today's actual talk expressions. Keep in mind, the next time you talk about being shocked or surprised or confused about a situation, try using many, many different words, okay? All right, that is all for today's actual talk expressions. Now, today we took a look at many, many expressions and some extra vocabulary that you can use when talking about being shocked or surprised, especially when someone plays a joke on you. Now, our topic for today's lesson is playing jokes on someone or pranks, tricks, and being fooled. So today's idiom is do the trick. So what does do the trick mean? Okay, listen to a sentence and try to figure out what it means. Here it is. If the lemonade is too sour, add a bit of sugar. That should do the trick. Now, does this sound like a joke? Does it sound like a trick? No, not at all. Now, do the trick basically means to do exactly what is needed or expected. Remember how we often say, oh, it will work. If you have a headache, take some aspirin. It'll work. You can also say, if you have a headache, take some aspirin. It will do the trick. So in Korean, it means 성공하다, 효과가 있다. Okay? Here is another sentence using do the trick. Here it is. At first, my niece wouldn't stop crying. Okay? But a lollipop did the trick and she stopped instantly. Okay? At first, my niece kept on crying. She wouldn't stop crying, but a lollipop did the trick, meaning I gave her a lollipop and it worked. She stopped crying instantly. Okay? Do the trick. 효과가 있다, 성공하다. So keep that in mind, and that is a wrap for today's Idiom Attack.
What are some funny pranks or practical jokes you pulled on someone or someone pulled on you? Talk about what you did and how he or she responded.
Last year on April Fool's Day, my friends and I decided to wear our high school uniform to our university. It was really fun because it was my first time wearing my school uniform ever since I graduated. So on that day, I wore my high school uniform and got my backpack on instead of a bag, which I always carry at school, and met my friends. As soon as we went to school, everyone stared at us. Anyhow, it was fun because it was a rare experience. So we went to class and we all sat down and got our books out. All other students also looked at us as if we're from another high school. The funny part was when the professor came in. As soon as she came in, she stared at us with astonishment. Her eyes were full of bewilderment. She looked at us for a few seconds and went up to the podium. When she went up, she asked us where we were from. So we told her we were taking this class, and we took this class for a few months. So as soon as she was surprised, we said, Happy April Fool's Day. And that's when she knew that it was our funny prank. So that was one of the funniest pranks that I pulled on the professor on April Fool's Day.
Well, thank you very much for the wonderful interview. 이수영님, 감사합니다. So have you ever tried this when you were a lot younger, when you were in college? As for me, I don't think I actually tried anything like this. I rather just played jokes on people. I never really fooled my teacher. But what was she talking about? She was talking about a time in university where she actually put on her uniform, high school uniform perhaps, and went to school and fooled her professor. Okay, let's take a look at some good points and some oopsies as well. The first great thing I think she said was it was fun. She's talking about the experience by saying it was fun because she's giving a reason. It was a rare experience. So yes, she's talking about what happened in the past, meaning her experience, but it was a rare experience. Something that does not happen very often. So wonderful job there. Now, she also mentioned as soon as she, meaning her professor in university, as soon as she came in, she stared at us with astonishment. Wonderful. I picked this sentence because she used the word astonishment. Okay? She was astonished. She was surprised. She was shocked. You could say surprised, shocked, but remember, try to use many different words. So, as soon as she came in, she stared at us with astonishment, with that surprised look. So I do want to say props to you for using difficult words. Let's take a look at some oopsies. Now, here it is, the first one. I wore my high school uniform and got my backpack. That's penang in Korean. Backpack on. Okay, instead of a bag which I always carry at school. Now, if you take a look at this at first glance, it may not sound or look strange, but a better way of putting this is, I wore my high school uniform and got my backpack on, okay, instead of. Now, up till here, it's totally fine, but we are talking about a bag that she usually carries to school. So it's better to say, I put on a backpack instead of the bag I always carry to school. Not carry at school, that's all right, but carry to school. A bag you carry to school. So once again, I wore my high school uniform and got my backpack on instead of the bag I always carry to school. Let's take a look at one more. We told her we were taking this class and we took this class for a few months. Now, take a look at the tense here, okay? It's always important for you to, that's right, maintain the same tense. So it's better to say, we told her we had been taking the class for a few months. Take a look. We were taking this class, you're taking it, and then we took this class. You're taking it and then took. You're talking about a past incident that's continuing on until now. So you should say, we had been taking the class for a few months. So wonderful job there. Props, 2 thumbs up to you once again. And thank you for your time and effort. That was a great interview. Well, everyone, that brings us to an end. I do want to thank you so much for joining us today with Lesson 19. We did talk about playing jokes on people, right? Playing a prank on people, right? So hope the next time you have to talk about jokes or playing pranks on people, you do remember the expressions we learned today and the extra vocab we learned when talking about the emotions or the reactions of surprise and shock and confused feelings. So please do that. And of course, in the meantime, I do want to remind you that you are more than welcome to visit us at our homepage at www.ebse.co.kr. Type in 제니퍼의Actual speaking and leave your comments, questions, even topic requests. I'll be joining you next time with another interesting topic, something that we all cannot live without, which happens to be, that's right, for me, I can't live without delicious food. So next time in Lesson 20, let's all find out great ways to talk about our favorite foods. Okay, until then, take care and see you again soon. Bye for now.